Pest infestation? Call Bugman, because when you see red, bugs are dead.
All right, it's Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday the 9th of September. We did a little bit of a podcast on Sunday, a recap, and then this is just, I told you we're going to try to start doing these Tuesday and Thursday. This Thursday there will not be anything. You'll have to watch the Facebook page, the Bottom Line podcast page, and on the YouTube channel and Twitter, Lucky Larry Sports, because I will be out of town. But I will still do the radio on Friday remotely, and I will also still put up my pick sheet for the week. Keep in mind that pick sheet's probably going to be mostly done on Wednesday. I will definitely try to take a peek Thursday and Friday, but I'm gonna be on a golf course for the better part of 3 days, 2.5 days. So anyway, just to get into today, let's talk a little bit about the NFL recap for the weekend. It was the NFL's big opening weekend this week, and if you're an NFL fan, if you're not, I'll just say this: yeah, it was pretty normal. I don't know if it wasn't a whole lot of upsets. In fact, I don't know if people were doing Survivor leagues, excuse me, or anything like that. But the Survivor league that I'm in, the top 7 teams won, which never happens. So if you're in a Survivor league, I would tell you, all hell's probably going to break out this week and next, right? Because all the favorites won. And then Monday night you had a really great game, the Bills-Ravens. I actually went to bed thinking that the Ravens had won or were going to win, and woke up with the Bills. I'm sure a lot of people did that. Last night you had the Vikings-Bears, which wasn't anywhere the caliber of the night before. But it still ended up being a good game. Still ended up being a close game there at the end. So, I would just say, be careful if you're throwing money on the NFL this week. There's probably going to be some upsets. There's probably going to be a little bit of craziness going on. I see Washington and Green Bay on Thursday, and I have seen a lot of people. Well, I don't know that a lot is fair to say, but I've seen quite a bit of people that have hopped on Green Bay on Thursday early, and I would just tell you, I'm not on that bandwagon. I think I'm on the Commanders Thursday. But again, it's Tuesday. We don't know what that line's going to be when it does get to Sunday of next week. I mean, so we're a little bit ahead of the game here. But let's talk a little bit about college. What we got coming up? There is a Thursday game. There's the NC State at Wake game. I will tell you now, that has gone from 7 to 7.5. And as of right now, 6:48, Tuesday, 77% of the bets are on Wake Forest getting the 7.5, and 87% of the money bet thus far is on Wake Forest. So if you've been paying attention or listening to any of the podcasts, if today was game day, I'd run straight to NC State and put money on them, because I'm definitely against the public. So that's a lot. That is really, really a lot. Friday there's Arizona plays Kansas State. Gosh, Kansas State. There's a lot of people that had Kansas State winning the Big 12, and now they're 1-2, and quite frankly, they could have been 0-3 in the game they won. That's a Friday game. That's a 1.5 point spread right now. A lot of people on Arizona. I'd probably lean towards K-State right there on Friday. Houston is at Colorado. Those are probably the two bigger games of the 5 or 6 that are out. I'd probably lean towards Colorado. I know they're throwing a third-string quarterback in there. I don't know. It just seems that seems like a spot because the line hasn't moved when they found out about the quarterback. So keep that in mind going forward. Some of the things I've seen in terms of trends and some of the wise guys that are out there doing things, people seem to be hitting LSU pretty hard against Florida. People seem to be hitting South Florida pretty hard versus Miami. Virginia Tech is 7.5. I don't know if you heard my rant on them this week, but I really looking at that 7.5 when I looked at it earlier before I got on here and started talking. I thought, man, this is a great bounce back. It's another night game, bounce back for Virginia Tech. And then I saw that the quarterback for Old Dominion has thrown for like 550 yards the first 2 games of the season. I thought, oh no, that might be problems, Hokies. I'm not picking them right now. I just looking at the spread right now, just kind of giving you quick bits of information. But that might scare me a little bit that guy's had that much success. Now, obviously, it's not the caliber. I mean, they played Indiana, so they played really well against Indiana. So I don't know. We'll talk about that a little bit. I won't talk about it, but I will talk about it on the radio. So, Alabama's playing Wisconsin. To me, it's a 21-point spread. That screams Wisconsin. Notre Dame is playing A&M. It's anywhere between a 6.5 and 7-point spread. Truth, I put this out every time I talk about them. I'm an A&M fan. I don't know. The first 2 games A&M's played have been, they've been okay. Notre Dame is 0-1. Had a bye week to prepare for A&M. Was A&M playing possum? Were they not showing a lot last week? Because he set people. I mean, pretty much the whole second half. He had second stringers and third stringers in there. So, a lot of people are talking about how it is a must-win game for Notre Dame because if they go 0-2, if you go back and look, or if you go back and look at their schedule, there's not a whole lot of opportunity for Notre Dame to get a big win. So, at home against Texas A&M, a ranked team, they're saying that this is a must-win. I would probably argue that it's a must-win for A&M too. Excuse me. A&M's been going 8-4 the last 5 years. A couple years ago, they didn't during the good time when he took over. But that's a tough game too. That's going to be a tough one to talk about. South Carolina Vanderbilt. That line has dropped to 5.5, which is leaning me towards Vanderbilt right now. That almost seems like a Vegas line that they're saying, hey, we're going to give you only got to win by 5.5 against Vanderbilt. That's a little scary. Pittsburgh is 5.5 against West Virginia. I don't know if anybody paid attention this week, but West Virginia lost their stud running back. The white kid, he's out, and he was really good. I had him. Preseason, I told people he was the top 3 running back in the country, in my opinion. So he's lost for the season. So Clemson goes to Georgia Tech. A lot of people are hopping off the Clemson bandwagon and jumping on Georgia Tech because it's at Georgia Tech and it's at home. And Haynes King did not play last week. He was in the concussion protocol for like literally the 27th time probably in his career. A lot of people are hopping on Georgia Tech there. I don't know. I still like Clemson's defense. So to me, I would lean towards Clemson right now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Auburn and South Alabama. I think I have this. I like South Alabama here. Auburn's kind of been rolling a little bit. Everybody's hopped on Auburn. Just looking at the pre-bets here. That would probably be that might end up being a lock, taking the 26-27 points South Alabama. So keep an eye on that. App State, Southern Miss, probably it's a 1.5 point spread. I'd probably lean towards App State right now. Again, these are all first looks. I haven't broke this down. I haven't seen who all's. I know some people that are in and out, but North Carolina and Richmond. Poor Bill Belichick. So that's all. I mean, Texas has UTEP, 41-point favorite. Gosh, that's a lot of points. Utah and Wyoming, 24-point favorite. Utah, I'd probably lean towards Wyoming. What else do we got here? Again, the Miami, South Florida. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. If you've listened, South Florida is very physical. What else? Georgia at Tennessee. This line is very confusing to me. It's down to 3.5. Tennessee's at home. This thing has dropped. This line has dropped like almost 4 or 5 points since summer. I don't know. That's a scary line right there. That's almost a Vegas line. So it's almost begging you to take Georgia. I don't know. We'll get into that. We'll definitely look at that as we start doing our prep work today and tomorrow. But anyway, it's about 12, 13 minutes in on this. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time. Just wanted to pass on some of the things I saw. Hit a little bit on the NFL. Tell you we won't be here Thursday, but all the stuff will be out. We'll we'll do the radio. We're gonna put the sheet out, and hopefully we keep it going. So anyway, thank y'all. Heathens Kettle Corn and Mobile Grill. You can find them at Dr. Pepper Park, local Roanoke events, and also now doing fundraising with teams, organizations, churches, etc. Find them on Facebook, Heathens, Kettle Corn, and Mobile Grill.